Hello and welcome. Today we are at the banks of famous Dal Lake in Srinagar, and as we all know, Jammu and Kashmir is going through the assembly elections. In fact, it is in the last phase of these polls. We've had significant voter turnout in past few phases. People seem to be very interested in electing their local representatives, particularly because these elections come after 10 long years. There was a gap of 10 long years. And to discuss what exactly these elections mean for the local people, particularly the youth, I have with me a bunch of youngsters, young enterprising Kashmiris, who I am going to discuss this topic with. I start from my right. I have Nasir with me. He is a radio professional. He is also into the business of educating youngsters in communications. Nasir, for you, what exactly do these elections mean? Why are they important?
Well, as you said earlier, that these elections are happening after a long gap of 10 years. That's a decade, Shuja. And in these long 10 years, we have seen that there are basic issues, civic issues, which need to be addressed, and other issues also. And we have seen, and I have seen, because since we are in the profession of talking to people, people share their feedback with us. I have been told number of times that we can't go to a particular office, or we can't be knocking at an officer's door time and again. And you also need to understand those people are also busy, right? So public representation is very important. And I think this time people voted, and there were a lot of first-time voters also. And whenever you speak to those first-time voters, they said that we want to vote for development. We want to vote for the things we want in the city, or the things we want in a particular area to happen. So I believe that these elections are important also because of the reason that there are a lot of first time voters also.
Interesting. So I also have Muntazir with me. Muntazir is a businessman, an entrepreneur. Muntazir, आपको क्या लगता है ये इलेक्शंस, ये चुनाव क्यों ज़रूरी हैं, खासकर बिजनेस कम्युनिटी के लिए या जो आपके जैसे लोग हैं उनके लिए क्यों ज़रूरी है ये?
थैंक यू सो मच यहाँ पे बुलाने के लिए सर. देखिए, पहली बात एज ए कॉमन कश्मीरी मैं ये देख रहा हूँ कि इलेक्शन होना सबसे बड़ी बात है पहले, क्योंकि आफ्टर 10 इयर्स यहाँ पे लोग वोट डाल रहे हैं. वोट तो डालना है, ये हमारा हक है, हमें अपना हक पूरी तरह से इस्तेमाल भी करना है. मसला ये है कि जो मैं यहाँ पे अगर बिजनेस कम्युनिटी की बात करूँ तो वी हैड सफर्ड अ लॉट फ्रॉम दिस, स्पेशली फ्रॉम लास्ट 5-6 years. यू सी यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे कि मतलब लोकल ट्रेडर्स जो है, मतलब जो दुकानदार जो लोग हैं, वहाँ पे आप देखेंगे कि काम का बहुत ही ज़्यादा कम वहाँ पे रुझान है. जितना होना चाहिए, मतलब मैं उतना नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि ग्रो होना चाहिए. नॉर्मली जो आप देखेंगे 6 साल पहले जो यहाँ पे काम होता था, अभी आप देखेंगे कि सब हर एक कम्युनिटी खाली थोड़ा सा ग्रो किया था. टूरिज्म कम्युनिटी ने, टूरिज्म का जो एक सेक्शन है यहाँ पे, कि जो होटल्स है, गाड़ियाँ वगैरह है, उनमें थोड़ा सा कुछ मतलब बेहतरी आई थी. टू बी फ्रैंक, बहुत ही अच्छी बेहतरी आई थी उनमें. अब मसला ये है कि अब बिजनेस कम्युनिटी के मसले बहुत सारे हैं यहाँ पे, क्योंकि अभी कहने के लिए तो हमें खाली यहाँ पे ब्यूरोक्रेसी होती थी अभी इन 5-6 सालों के लिए, लेकिन अब इंशाल्लाह अगर इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट आती है, हम बहुत ही ज़्यादा उम्मीद रखते हैं उनसे कि हमारे मसले मसाइल हल हो जाएं.
उम्मीद है आपको कि लोकल गवर्नमेंट्स जब आएगी तो आपके इश्यूज सॉर्ट आउट हो जाएंगे?
जी जी बिल्कुल.
I also have with me Danish Iqbal. He used to be with a political party. Now he's a political commentator. Also teaches in a top university. So clearly he would have the sense of what youngsters, particularly students, etc., think about these elections. Danish, what is it? Is it about the identity of Kashmiris? Is it about local governance? Why are these polls important?
No, of course, Shuja, I completely agree that Kashmiris do need development. Kashmiris do need the redressal of the deficit that has creeped in the last 10 years now, 5-6 years after the last government had fallen. But this election, as I keep saying from last so many times now, that these elections are primarily about seeking a certain degree of restoration of powers to the federal government that sits in Srinagar. Because bureaucracy, as much as bureaucracy would do good to the people's welfare, but bureaucracy, as we all know, doesn't have the tongue. They do people's work, but they don't speak people's voice. That's why the politics is important, and we are in a vibrant democracy. We are in a place that prides itself globally of having the largest democracy on earth, as we call it, the mother of democracy. But what's also important that in the last election, in just the concluding elections in Srinagar, not many voters turned up. And I was, as an academic, as in somebody who investigates these things, I've reached to a conclusion that probably, and I will conclude this after saying this, that a majority of the youth have probably reached to a conclusion that they are somehow unconvinced about the transformative power of the vote. Okay. And they have tried to pursue their politics through the non-political platforms. Okay. And the manifestation of that lies in a barrage of youngsters, professionals, journalists, bureaucrats, businessmen, entrepreneurs who do a kind of politics that politicians were supposed to do, but they are not very charismatic, they are not very appealing. So the politics has shifted to others that's necessarily not have to carve out an electoral entry. That's why I think the voter turnout has fallen.
And is that worrying?
That's not worrying. I mean, for a common Kashmiri, for a regular kind of politician, that might worry. But I, as a long-term observer of Kashmir, I'm convinced that there's going to be a great shift. There's going to be a great shift. It's already happened globally. It's already happened in the country. But now it's coming to Kashmir. A lot of governance, a lot of work, the public work, I mean to say, has been outsourced to the private players. It's happened. It's happened in cities like Gurgaon, Mumbai, Chennai, elsewhere in the country. It's coming to Kashmir. But politicians would need to revive their avatar. They need to revive their work. They need to bring in a lot of creativity into the political parties to be still relevant for the large electorate.
So they need to reinvent themselves to be to appeal to the youngsters and particularly the rest of the voters in Jammu and Kashmir. I have Qazi Tawqir with me. Qazi is a very famous singer. We would remember him from the fact that he was the winner of Fame Gurukul. He's been in Kashmir. I would like to understand from him, from an artist's point of view, what these elections mean for you and why do you think that there is significance to them?
Now let me not be politically correct. Well, I have lost faith in everything. I met an officer, I don't want to name him. Salam karo, assalamu alaikum, yeah. Regarding my concert, I'll be performing here, I'm going to colleges, universities. Apne balbute pe. Khud hi invest bhi kar raha hu. Because I want to give them that feel, that opportunity. I want them to perform in front of 8,000 people. And I know 8,000 people are going to come to attend my concert. I know it. Because I have... नहीं, not the appointment. See, मैं सलाम करो, अस्सलाम वालेकुम, वालेकुम सलाम बहुत धीरे से. That's it. I'm like, okay. Then he says, अच्छा ये वही है ना जो singer थे. That's the attitude. That's the attitude. Who am I? ये मेरे साथ हो रहा है. I'm an artist. And we और ये तो खैर मैंने global level पे कश्मीर को represent किया तो जो हमारे यहाँ के locals है वो तो इससे ज़्यादा बदतर उनको face करना होगा.
Do you think that there is this urgent need of having the right representatives who could listen to?
Yes, there is a need, but 30 साल से यही चल रहा है कि हर साल हम यही बात करते. No, things will change, but it never changed. Believe me, to be very honest, दिल से कह रहा, not politically correct. ऐसे कभी change हुआ नहीं, but optimistic रहना है इंसान को. Let's hope.
The crux of it is that you yearn for people who can listen to you, who genuinely, can understand the problems of a common Kashmiri and, address them. So there is this, hope that there will be people like that in power. There's also hope that, the identity of Kashmiris, people in Jammu and Kashmir will be given its due representation. So those are the things that seem to be mattering to the young Kashmiris on the ground. With that, I would like to sign off from here in Srinagar. Thank you very much for watching us.